Hi, everyone. My name is Peggy, and I'd like to thank you for joining me today. A little about my background. I was introduced to homeopathy in 1992. I was self-taught for about 10 years before attending the American Medical College of Homeopathy in Phoenix, Arizona, where I received my practitioner's certificate in 2003. I'm committed to ongoing professional development, and I use classical and contemporary methods in my practice. As well as being a homeopath, I'm a registered international cell salts and face analysis consultant. Cell salts are considered an adjunct to homeopathy, and I have found them to be very beneficial, especially when using them alongside homeopathic treatment. Today's presentation is the history and concepts of cell salts, and it is meant to be the foundation for future videos I will be doing when we dive deeper into the 33 cell salts. Okay, let's get started. All right. The information contained herein should not be used as a substitute for the advice of an appropriately qualified and licensed healthcare physician or other healthcare providers. The information provided here is for informational purposes only. The views, positions, and opinions expressed in this presentation are those of the presenter and of Homeopathic Catalyst, LLC. So Schussler's method clearly differs from homeopathy. Homeopathy is the law of similars, and like cures like. Homeopathy works with and on the vital force. Cell salts work at a biochemic level, like a nutritional supplement. So when you hear these terms, they're all interchangeable. Cell salts, tissue salts, mineral salts, biochemical salts, tissue remedies, cell salt remedies, biochemic therapeutics, or any of a combination of these. Three basic concepts are: the smallest living unit is a cell. The cause of disease is the altered cell. A person can stay healthy only if the necessary minerals present in the body are in the right quantity. Dr. Wilhelm Heinrich Schussler, it was a German doctor and homeopath. When investigating human blood and ashes after death and isolating minerals from these various tissues, he found certain minerals were a vital part of every cell in the body. He discovered 12 mineral compounds that were important for proper functioning of the cells. He ascribed a specific purpose to each one of the 12 salts, based on his understanding of their biochemical purpose and relative distribution in the body. He performed clinical experiments to confirm his conclusions, published his findings in 1874, entitled An Abridged Therapy, Manual for Biochemic Treatment of Disease. He found that diseases and abnormal states in the cells arise because of deficiencies of these 12 mineral salts. By supplying the body with the correct combination of minerals, wholeness and balance are restored and the body heals itself. Face analysis was discovered by Dr. Schussler and was developed by one of his followers, Kurt Hickathir. Hickathir checked his findings on himself and was able to stop his illness, a chronic inflammatory rheumatic disease with pain and stiffening in the joints, and then he lived symptom-free for more than 40 years. He wrote a book about face analysis, which is a standard work on the face analysis today, but it is in German language only. Hickathir thought the facial diagnosis was the best method to recognize an illness and the needed cell salts. This contradicted, even then, the prevailing doctrine and also does not fit to today's image of diagnosis, because the word diagnosis is used in modern medicine to recognize certain illness by its, quote, name. To avoid conflicts with the usual usage of the word diagnosis, nowadays we call it facial analysis. Nevertheless, the analysis of the face plays the most important role for the identification of the suitable cell salts. So the preparation is 1 part of the crude material plus 9 parts of saccharin lactose. They're triturated in a mortar and pestle for 1 hour, and that equals 1x. 1 part of the 1x plus 9 parts of the saccharin lactose are triturated in a mortar and pestle for 1 hour, and that equals 2x. This process is repeated either 3, 6, or 12 times, yielding 1,000 to 1 dilution. Cell salts number 1, number 4, and number 12, and all of the rest, the 13 to 33, are taken in a 12x potency. The guidelines are for cell salts 1 to 12, a maximum of 15 per day. Cell salts 13 to 33 would be a maximum of 5 per day. These guidelines may differ depending on the size of the tablets and the manufacturer you purchase them from. The guidelines differ for pregnancy. The pregnancy protocols chart is not included in this presentation. High blood pressure, diabetes, and the detox rules. The detox rules are number 7, Calisulf are to be taken in the morning. Number 11, Natsulf in the afternoon and evening. And you would use more tablets of number 11 than of number 7. The reason is because number 7 collects what needs to be detoxed, and number 11 flushes away what number 7 collects. For high blood pressure, do not exceed more than 7 tablets of number 9, which is Natrium muriaticum. For diabetic, you would use the water dose and filter out the lactose. And that would be explained to you how to do that. Not in this presentation, though. So cell salts are taken up by the oral mucosa, the mouth, and delivered directly to the bloodstream. Blood containing the material for every tissue and cell of the body. Restore the blood and the body will flourish. Cell salts are homeopathic preparations of certain mineral compounds which are found within all living things. Biochemic therapeutics are based on physiology, which is the normal functions of living organisms and their parts. Both the structure and vitality of the organs of the body need necessary quantities and proper use of its organic material. Any disturbance in the molecular flow of the cell salts in living tissues caused by a deficiency in the required amount can cause disease and can be reestablished and replenished by administering the same mineral salts in small quantities. Tissue salts simply provide the needed elements to the human body in a form that is readily assimilated, allowing speedy restoration, balance, and harmony to the system. Blood containing the material for every tissue and cell of the body. Restore the blood and the body will flourish. Different kinds of cells build up the different tissues and organs of the body. The difference in the cells is largely determined by the kind of inorganic salts which enter into the composition. Besides these inorganic salts, the body is composed of water and organic substances in a proportion of 1 to 12 of inorganic salts to the remainder of water and organic matter. But the latter is inactive and useless in the absence of inorganic cell salts. These are the real tissue builders, the architects of the organism, and both the structure and vitality of the body depend upon their proper quantity and distribution in every cell. The biochemic treatment uses these inorganic cell salts. When properly prepared for assimilation, they are capable of curing every curable disease and improving most incurable ones. Health is the state of the body when all the cells constitute or make up the whole of the various tissues that are in a normal condition, and they are kept in this state when they each receive the necessary quantity of the vital cell salt required for the building of the different tissues. Disease is an altered state of the cell produced by some irregularity in the supply to the cells of one of the inorganic tissue salts. Imperfect cell action results in diseased tissues, and then organs follow, then diseases develop. The cure consists of restoring the normal cell growth by furnishing a minimal dose of the inorganic minerals. This is derived from physiological chemistry by supplying the needed tissue salt. It's called biochemic treatment. When there is a deficiency in one or more of the essential minerals in your cells, parts of the organism, which are the cells that are deficient, will produce a diseased condition. By supplying the needed minerals to the cells of those lacking, a balance will be restored and the organism will return to its normal condition. By giving a tissue salt in such a dose that can be assimilated by the growing cells, a wonderful and speedy restoration to healthy function follows. All diseases that are curable are so by means of the tissue remedies properly prepared to the needs of the organism. Cell salts are infinitesimal, subdivided in the different kinds of food we take, and capable of assimilation by the cells. So it is important to make the cell salts immediately useful. They are prepared in the same delicate form in which nature uses them, and that if they are absorbed by the microscopic cells, they themselves must be finer than the cell in an organism. Even though water and organic matter make up the greater portion of living cells, the inorganic matter is the only substance that the organism, the cells, cannot produce by itself. Since the life of living cells is relatively short, the creation of new cells depends on the presence of inorganic minerals. A lack of these minerals in the living cells keeps organic materials from entering them. The strategic use of these minerals in a bioavailable form makes any deficiencies at a cellular level by prompting the cells to restore the balance of their essential components, therefore stimulating normal cell functioning. This is the book that I used to create this presentation. And here's some useful websites. And this is my website. If you would have any questions, you can email me at homeopathicCatalyst@gmail.com. So thank you again for your interest in using cell salts. If you're curious about how cell salts might help you, or if you're interested in a face analysis consultation, please visit my website. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.